Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind Heaven and Terry's Moon, Dolo the Archangel Uriel, and Flight boss here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about what happens if you kill your motherfucking self. Now, listen, we about to get high, but you know, it's always a polar opposite. So, as we get high, we also go get very deep. So, that's a disclaimer. And we need to understand that before we get into this video. Everything is about sequence, aka frequent, and conscious awareness when we talk about this subject. So once you know that, you need to know that heaven and hell is in the same place. Now, before we even get to that, let me just put it all on the table first before we get to that. Before we talk about, because people got a misconception of heaven and hell, and I'm gonna give that to y'all, because people don't understand. And then before I ever break that down too, I'm about to just tell y'all what actually happens if you kill your motherfucking self. Now, it ain't gonna be like what you think. You're ascended. Now, everything is frequency, vibration, and energy, right? So once I say this is gonna help you understand everything else. Your frequency is what? Your spirit, the idea of you, your thought, you know what I'm saying? And everything that ties up under that, you know what I'm saying? Your space, your room, the thought of you, your line of events, your timeline, your spirit, your fucking sperm, the sperm of you. You know what I'm saying? With this what formulates the sperm of you, the idea of you, your frequency, the idea, your space in this universe. Then we get what came second is your second. The minute your time started, your experience, the vibration. That's what came second. Your vibration, your emotions, the motion, your ability to have motion and experience a realm of reality, right? So now it's your soul. So if the spirit was your idea, as soon as it went into a realm of reality, that light, the frequency light, your spirit takes shape and form of, now it's a soul. So they one are the same. As soon as your spirit went into the vibration, it's a soul. And then the energy is whatever mattered became matter and now become physical. Now you have a physical form. So you mattered and it became matter and now it became solid and it became physical. Now you have a physical form to experience it. So your soul sits in the middle of, and your which is your vibrations. All it's doing is experiencing. Your frequency is your spirit and the energy is your body. So your soul a lot of times is just doing the experiencing. So depending on what dimension you in, as far as density in your body, right? Your spirit, you're going to have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, but all of them may not be able to be experienced in the physical. You may not be able to will it into a person, place, or thing or a situation based upon the dimension that you in. You in a low dimension, in a third dimension. So if you're pulling shit from the ninth, seventh, and eighth dimension, a lot of that shit can't be manifested. So a lot of these things may just revolve around situations and relationships, but nothing that plays out physically. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these is thought processes and concepts and higher angels, aka angels and gods and shit. Now the soul is just experiencing. So the soul may take the flesh at times and take the spirit role at times. But now that we know this, we know that your soul is doing all the experiencing. Your spirit is the one that's catching out all the. Now your thoughts and ideas is not yours. You see what I'm saying? So depending on what frequency, depending on where you're vibrating, you're going to be receiving all the spirits, aka thoughts, all the frequencies that's vibrating in that area. So if you're vibrating low, you're receiving all the thoughts from either within, lower chakra blood cells and shit, or without. Angels and angels or spirits and shit and demons from that's vibrating in that area. So they're teaching you or coming to you or wanting to experience through you everything in that realm of reality and that vibrating. If you're vibrating high, and how you know if you're vibrating low and high, if you got a bunch of dumbass retarded thoughts or a bunch of negative thoughts and shit like that, you're vibrating low. And if you choose to attach it to your vibration, that means you attach your emotions and feelings to it. So now you want to experience it. And the more you pay it attention, the more you're going to will it into it mattered in your life. So it became mattered, it became solid, and it came out through a person, place, or thing or a physicality into your life because it was energy. You carrying the energy of it now because the mixture of the frequency and vibration formulates an energy. You know what I'm saying? So Now that we got all the disclaimers out the way, what happens if you kill your motherfucking self? So for you to be in the third dimension right now, in a physical third dimension, because you could experience all the dimensions within it. You got a bunch of people who's in the third dimension right now and didn't experience no other dimensions. They've been in the third dimension 1,000 times in a bunch of different vessels. You know what I'm saying? You could have did that in the first dimension and the second dimension. You see what I'm saying? Which we could break that down too. And I've been saying this, but I like to teach frequency because frequency, vibration, and energy. When frequency is the thoughts, your ideas, the idea of you, your line of events, and your timeline. Now that formulates a spirit to, and when you kill a spirit, it can become sperm. But if you really want somebody to break it down, know how to break it down in that way, if you don't know what the spirit could be a sperm also, go check out motherfucker Solace the Wise channel. You know what I'm saying? And just go on YouTube and type in sperm, everything is the sperm, and you'll see that nigga face. He got like a bird hat on. And he could, I'm bad with words. He could break it down into words. He more patient. He must got water and earth in his chart or something like that. He's more patient with each wording. You know what I'm saying? So he could break it down. So when you would know if you was in the first dimension, you could compare it to if like that you was in your father. So you whatever your father was doing and whatever like that, that's what you was attached to. So you was attached to that idea. Boom, that idea, frequency, that thought of you was formulated. As soon as your dad start trying to kill that thought, but kept doing that, boom, you start overtaking them. Like my dad was kind of on drugs. He was a crackhead. So you know what I'm saying? So boom, that was you. I was the idea of my father. Boom, he busted a nut. When I died in my father, I went into my mother's second dimension. Boom. Now in that world, I might have went through a bunch of dimensions too. I went through all the dimensions though. That's why I got the level of conscious I got. But I'm just trying to see how you could tell you where you was at and who to go listen to, how they can kind of break it down into words better. But I'm just trying to break this down so you can understand what happens if you kill your motherfucking self. You need all this knowledge. You need all this to have a proper idea, because death and birth, people got it fucked up. And what I be teaching is everything is frequency, vibration, energy. You know what I'm saying? And so in this case, you go into your mother, that's second dimension. Now, once everybody fighting for the egg and shit like that, but boom, and you can go watch the intro to Look Who's Talking movie. You know what I'm saying? With John Travolta and the other chick. Now, boom, once you get in that realm of reality and shit like that, you may have developed a bunch of enemies and shit like that then. You know what I'm saying? Boom, you get in there, now you take that form, and then you come out, and now you're in the third dimension right now, right? So now as a physical, you ascended. You know that for a fact because you in third dimension, which everything is a polar opposite. You could be ascending or descending still from a higher consciousness perspective vessel, but still. Let's talk about this. Now, you're in the third dimension. So that lets you know you're getting ready to go to a fourth dimension, which is an oversoul vessel. Now, you could go to my videos to understand each dimensional vessel that you're going to inhabit. So you could be an animal oversoul, you could be a human oversoul, or whatever. Then fifth dimension is a planet, sixth dimension is a sun, seventh dimension is a solar system, eighth dimension is a galaxy, ninth dimension is a verse, and then after that, you know what I'm saying? All right, now, but these are vessels, conscious awarenesses. You see what I'm saying? Now, you in this conscious awareness right now, right? So, if you got thoughts in your head and shit like that you want to kill yourself, right? You always had these thoughts, right? So, what you need to understand is, let's break down heaven and hell. Heaven and hell is in the same place. Everything is frequency vibration. So, it's your responsibility what frequency you're vibrating on, whether that's high or low or center. But they're there for you to experience. But it's not like a location where in so many words, humans created locations. We kind of did. So when we do all go back to the all go, we already built the all body. Now we're gonna build this motherfucker land. We're gonna build this motherfucker location. He probably ain't got no location to see outside of himself yet. So he's still the roof. So we still, I hate that calling him he, but we still can't get outside itself. It's still the top of the brain. That's why pay attention to words. Why do we say we can't get out of here? Hair. Where is hair? Where is everywhere you have hair at? On top of the body. right? So I can look at you and see there's a perception that's on top of the hair, right? That's outside of the hair, because you're in a realm of reality that's outside of the hair. So what if we in a being, right, that it can't get outside itself? So we can't. Anytime we're trying to get outside of something, we have no choice but to correlate words to can't get out of here. But it's really correlate to we can't get out of hair because we can't. The being we in can't perceive something. He can't perceive out of itself. So it can't perceive out of almost literally. We are experiencing a ceiling. It probably is a ceiling if we try to physically go in space. It probably is a glass ceiling. We can't. It's like I think I'm going too deep for y'all. Let me get back to this video. But talking about yeah, I went too deep for y'all. Sorry about that. My bad. I'm smoking a blunt. My bad. My bad. All right, but look, when you kill your motherfucking self, right? You're going to a fourth dimensional vessel. So what's happening here is in this dimension, in the third dimension, whatever tools you got and however you're consciously aware of feeling like how you can kill yourself, this is what's on your mind, right? So this is what you're choosing to experience. I don't care if you placing your experience on and you placing that responsibility on other things. You're placing the blame on people, places, things. You not having money. You making these things the reason or why you feeling, or even your God, and your God and fuck you up like that. Make you curse out your God and shit because it puts you in a situation where you lived a whole life without taking responsibility. You lived a whole life of placing your responsibility onto others. And you could be raised like that based upon your mother and religions and shit like that. It's like it goes deep. But you know, you could be in a bunch of different hells already experiencing that shit and religions and shit. So when you came in this vessel, you came from those same thoughts, just in another dimension. So this vessel is gonna stay where it's at. The same way when you was in your mother, all her shit, you didn't take all her insides that you was in with you. You just came out. So when you die, you're not gonna take this body with you. You just gonna come out, right? But what remains is the experience, which you was consciously aware of, and that's attached to the frequency and the vibration, the spirit and the soul. So whatever brain, aka vessel, aka energy, whatever matter to you next time, whatever you come in to take that experience, you're gonna take the vessel that best resonate with the vibration frequency that you was resonating on. You see what I'm saying? So that's the vessel that your spirit is gonna be attracted to. Remind you, your spirit soul don't give a fuck about the vessel. It just has the idea. You see what I'm saying? And your soul just going to experience. So the vessel that it goes into is going to be the dimension that it goes into. So whether you chose this body and you chose not to like how you're seen, and you chose not to accept this vessel that you in, that's your choice. But you have to understand, as a frequency vibration, these are thoughts. So what you're doing now is what you always been doing. So now, when you get to killing yourself, let's break it down like this. Say you was to actually kill yourself, right? And you in third dimension. So the level of consciousness that you're aware of in the third dimension right now is way more powerful than the second and the first dimension. So however you killed yourself in the first and second dimension was how it was there. But how it's seen now in the third dimension, that's how it's going to be seen here. So remind you, your frequency and vibration, your spirit and soul is the only thing that's experiencing. Your brain is the only thing that's interpreting the dimension that it's in. So whatever tool that you use to actually you bring that experience to life in this dimension is just gonna fade and go back to the elements of the dimension. You know what I'm saying? But your spirit and experience is gonna remain. Now we finna get into why you shouldn't kill yourself. Cause we're about to get into some deep shit. And we finna get into like heaven and hell and all that shit. And the real concept of it. Now, To kill, now, heaven and hell is the same thing. You choose to be in it, but you always going to be doing the same thing over and over again. So if you know you're going to always be doing the same thing over and over again, it's your choice what you're going to be doing over and over again. But the purpose of it is to do it over and over again, less and less and less. Because you've been spit out in a spiral that the spiral has been gaining momentum. So your experience has been gaining more and more and more experiences. So in so many realms of realities, the more experiences really is hell in general. But y'all concept is hell. I don't want to tie hell to that. You see what I'm saying? I don't really want to do that. But you've been spit out in a spiral that the spiral is larger. So it's more experience, more life, longer existence, which aka means more death. So the whole plan is to reverse it and have less experience, less life, left. That's the real goal. And you can put that into any realm of reality that you choose. Now, that's the goal. Now, the experiences that you're doing more or trying to do less of for the goal is your choice. You can start to experience less hell or less heaven. But here's the dilemma. When you get to the realm of the less experiences, that's more correlated to heaven. But if the key is to do less, if you have to do more less, then if you already in the less realm, doing more of it is more experience. So it becomes a spit out again because you're doing more of that. But here's the thing. You're not spinning down this time. You're spinning up. And more experiences of that. Then you have to do that again. So is you going up or down? You see what I'm saying? It's like deep. You could be going to a heaven and hell. See, you could be spinning down, descending spiritually, right? And keep experiencing more shit, keep experiencing the same shit over and over again. And it's a hell if it's shit that you don't want to experience, right? Then the moment you get on a path of wanting to experience that less, it only plays out in ways of a person wanting to kill themselves or doing drastic things that a person will come take their life. Then they would get spit out down there and doing more of that and spit out and even more. Ooh, this shit is deep. I hope y'all can stick with me, because this is high and deep at the same time. Now let's talk about right now. Let's get back to in the present. Ding. And you back to 3D. So we talked about high and low, right? Let's talk about ding. Back to where you are. In the space where the world revolves around you. And you killed yourself. As a physical, you're going to ascend. We about to get to that dilemma now. As a physical, you're going to ascend. So you're going to be consciously more. You're going to be more consciously aware of more shit. You about to be an oversoul. You about to become a planet, a star now. You about to take one of those vessels. You about to be birthed out this womb that you're in right now. That what this look like, Gaia, right? So you didn't kill yourself, right? Now you ascended with in the dimension, right? But you descended in consciousness, right? So you about to have more experiences of you in the situation that you put yourself in, that brought you to the conclusion of wanting to kill yourself. So when you killed yourself in the third dimension, you finna go to the fourth dimension, no vessel, and there's gonna be way more better ways for you to come to the conclusion of killing yourself. There's going to be way more experiences of you killing yourself. Way more ideas and thoughts of you killing yourself. You get it? So, you ascended to your hell. So, you see where religion get it fucked up? You see how they get it like when you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell? See, everything is right. It's truth in everything. But there's even a truth in a lie. When a nigga or a bitch is lying to you, there's truth in that. But there ain't no lies in a motherfucking truth, though. You could point out a truth in a lie, but you would never point out a lie in a motherfucking truth. That's what got everything fucked up with language and shit and religion. So yeah, everything gonna sound like the truth, but it's filtered in lies, illusions, lights. And so many religions chase the light. So many people chase other illusions. People didn't correlate it the sun now and say, no, this is the natural light. We need to follow this and go into a foreign land where the people who got all the lights and the illusions and benefiting off of it is doing what that light likes to do. You got to get your mind right. You got to become the star and take that star out the position. The same way you go to a motherfucking job and you want to take the head motherfucker out of position. The same way you become a star on earth and you take the head nigga or bitch out of position. You got to become a motherfucking star and take this star that all these lower beings down here in hell is following and take that motherfucker out the position and show where the motherfuckers is really supposed to go. Show real direction. Show real light. Show people what the real illusion's about. But y'all ain't got there yet. Y'all wasn't planets like me. Y'all ain't part of my soul group. Y'all don't understand that. Now when I talk like this, y'all know I'm not talking to y'all as far as my soul group. I got 11,000 subscribers. I love y'all. Y'all know I'm not talking. Y'all know when I'm talking like this, we talking to spirits. We ain't talking to Pacific people. We talking to spirits, and we is one. We is together, and we not watching us, or we not watching URIEL. We is one talking to these motherfuckers when I talk like this. So if you part of my soul group and you know it, raise your hand. We ain't gotta be deciphering and talking about is he talking to me. We is one. And this for same way I'm talking like this for everyone in my life. I'm talking through you, same way you talking through me. We are channeling each other. This is the same way you is with everyone around in your life. This is how we see them. This is not me saying this is how I see you. We are together. This is how we see them. We not gonna be stuck. You feel me? So let's get back to it. Now when we talk about you want to kill your motherfucking self. Now me and my soul group is telling you, you ascend in the physical, but you descend in the spiritual. So your soul gonna have more experiences with the thoughts, your frequency, your spirit had. So in a greater form, you're gonna see more harsh shit. So I'm telling you, you don't want to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you vibrating low here and then you just doing shit that you developing all kind of enemies and shit and forcing people to kill you. Same way when you was in your mother womb, you was fighting your way to get to the egg. You probably somebody killed you to get in that motherfucker because you was fighting your way to get there, leading people down to wrong paths and shit. See what I'm saying? So you may when you die, right? Say you got killed, you did some shit to get killed, or you kill yourself. The meanings and reasonings that you developed, that you seen, that was in the dimension that you killed yourself, those meanings and reasonings, right? Once you ascend in the third and go to an oversoul, those energies still exist, but the perception of them is going to change. because the conscious awareness of the energies is going to be greater. So you're going to see them in different ways. So this is where we get the concept of how you may be born in your enemy's family. You may be born to a person that killed you in the third dimension. You may be born to a mother or a father that enslaved you, was your enemy in this dimension. You know what I'm saying? Because see, it's different. It's different. You may grow up in a location that show representations of harshness and everybody and hatred and shooting and all kind of shit. But it's like so you're gonna be like, damn, why is I'm experiencing this shit? And then you're gonna start creating circumstances and situations in that dimension that lead you to the same frequency vibration. You're gonna start seeing things that make you have the same ideas to make you be consciously aware of wanting to kill yourself again. You see what I'm saying? But the physical dimensional parts of those energies, gonna play out in different shapes and forms, in different ways, shapes and forms, aka people, places, and things, and locations and situations. You see what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be more of it. So you don't want to kill yourself. You here to experience, and you here to change. So whatever you experiencing now, you here to experience less of it. So instead of hating life and wanting to kill yourself, start hating the things that make you feel like that. You see what I'm saying? And that'll give you a new mission. You'll start jumping into other shit like, okay, I can play with this. Because a lot of times it's just things that's in front of you that you let overtake you. You let these things utilize you as a vessel. Then you lose yourself. Then when these things flee and it's not using you as a vessel no more, you didn't accommodated yourself with that thing, so with that spirit so much that you let it become you so much that you don't know who you are. So when it leaves you, it's like, damn, you feel lost. You don't even want to live. Because whatever was experiencing life through you, you made it part of your vessel. You let it totally consume you. And these will be your children also. You know what I'm saying? If you let the money spirit, all those spirits that attack a person when they get money, that spirit that jump into you and give you all these ideas and thoughts, you let it consume you. If you busting that and go have a child, you're going to have a money hungry child. You may have a child that kill you for the money. Shit. And if you orchestrated yourself in that realm of reality so much that you actually became rich, but it still drove you crazy enough to kill yourself, or still drove you crazy, or just drove you crazy, then the child that you have will kill your ass for all your goods. Be doing shit. You a rich businessman, you fucking eat some oatmeal one day, it's fucking poisoned. Your fucking son take over your whole fucking business. Now your son rule the whole corporation. You somewhere dead. Looking down like, damn, this motherfucker. But you in a different conscious awareness. But when your son die and get there, he might not come into the dimension as your son, but believe me, you gonna know the frequency. You gonna know that energy sigil. It's gonna come in the same energy sigil. It might not be in the same fashion as it was in this dimension as your son, but it's gonna come in a different person, place, thing, situation, way, shape, or form. Believe me. But you gonna pick it up and be like, I don't like this motherfucker. Same way you in this dimension now, and you come across people that you just pick up and like, man, goddamn, I don't like this motherfucker. But in this dimension, you so confused and consume yourself with this body, you will be thinking like, damn, I don't even really know this person. But your spirit and soul do. So if you don't like somebody and you don't really know them in this dimension, believe me, your spirit do. You better trust that shit. Your soul ain't pick up that vibration for no reason. That location exists somewhere. And your spirit and soul have traveled across that, and y'all have crossed paths, crossed timelines. Lines of events have exchanged just in another dimension. And you can't perceive it in this dimension with these two eyes. But the third eye can perceive it. So it might have been in one of those dimensions that the third eye can perceive. You just notice it. You just notice it. But if you spiritually and consciously inclined like me, and you've been through all the dimensions and experiences, then you'll be able to pinpoint that shit. Nigga, when I pinpoint in somebody that I don't like, boom, I automatically could pinpoint who that motherfucker was in every fucking dimension. And then I know what I need to learn in this dimension. I know if I need to incorporate this person in this dimension with me and learn something from this dimension what I didn't learn the last time to see what this person did, or do I just need to not experience that motherfucker at all, that bitch, or whatever, or that situation or that location. But that's when you know you consciously have been somewhere, and everybody who's consciously aware. No, I'm telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? But you had to experience that before. So when I say shit like I experienced all realms of realities and dimensions, you know I'm not lying. Because when you get there, some people, it might take them a few 100,000 years in this vessel. But when you get there, there's gonna be me in that dimension, and you gonna come back and be like, damn, this nigga right. Cause I ain't going nowhere. Nigga, I could die tomorrow right now. And wherever you fucking go, believe me, URIEL still gonna be there. But trust me, the same way you write, and it's even better if you part of my soul group and you watching this video like, damn, I get what he's saying. Cause that just let me know that the shit is real. Because that let me know that I always was here. And if you resonate with me right now, that let me know we always was together. And this is confirmation right here that we can say that, damn, this is how we together in this dimension, and now we know how we together in all dimensions. So when we all in the fourth dimension, we gonna be more consciously aware of shit, and who knows, our understanding now may even be developed there even better. So we even remember that shit, like, and we would be like, okay, look, and we can develop more land for the overall to the point that we end up knowing how to dive ourselves in our own selves the real way, though. You know what I'm saying? The same way, the overall being, how everybody is within it, we can learn how to dive in ourselves and actually experience being a cell, and then jump back into this one and be out and shit. Like, I don't think y'all get me. I'm going back too deep again, but I'm gonna shut this video down because you should understand the concept of heaven and hell after I explained all that. It's what you experience it. So if you kill your motherfucking self, you gonna kill yourself. You ain't think it's gonna be over. Listen, all right. Listen, everything is frequency, vibration, and energy first, right? Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So if you really want to kill yourself, you're not going to doing it with the physical first. Because only thing you're doing is experiencing killing yourself. So you're consciously aware of killing yourself. So you're going to be consciously aware of those ideas and thoughts every time. So listen, you got to start with the frequency first. If you're a person, you really hate life, you really hate life, you really want to kill yourself. First, do you really want to kill yourself? Then you're going to have to do it in this order. Frequency, vibration, and energy. This is how you do it. Kill your spirit first. Then that's going to drastically kill your soul. Then that's going to drastically kill your energy. So how you do that? Start being consciously aware of nothing that's there to be consciously aware of. For an example, go somewhere in a secluded area. Stop dealing with people. Stop dealing with eating. Stop dealing with your thoughts. Don't receive no more thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Just be to your own thought. So fight every thought that comes to you and just get into your own thought. Become a doorknob. Right? So that's how you kill your spirit. So after that, slowly your soul gonna die. Because you ain't gonna feel no way about nothing. So AKA, you ain't vibrating on no level. So you ain't gonna care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna care just for care. Your soul gone after that. You don't care for nothing. You're not vibrating on no level. Now, when the body start to rot, right? The body is gonna rot. So then that's the type of death. That's the type of transformation you need. Then that will be a successful death. See, you did in that, and then you won't have to worry about being consciously aware. You killed your spirit. You killed your consciousness awareness. Because even if you kill yourself, you're gonna be consciously aware of killing yourself. So you took your own power. You see what I'm saying? But you used your power to do that. So you always got the power to do that. But see, if you just did it naturally, you let your spirit die naturally, your souls die naturally, and your energy die naturally, then you would just become part of nature. So wherever you at, you would just become nature. So you will become the land we walk on. You may become a rock. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that just have no growth to it. Shit is just a piece of the whole. You will genuinely have peace. You will really, and that's what religion be really trying to teach you, to have peace of a whole, which you have to get there first. You have to really have a piece of something first. You really have to have a piece of the whole first to even understand what the wholeness is. But you got a lot of religions out here that make you think peace is just a piece, and you end up just having your own peace. So you end up having your own home, your own kingdom, your own family, and you think that's really your own peace, and you end up having your own peace to become you end up being a naive person, a person that everybody walks on in life anyway. So when you die, you become a rock anyway. You consciously dead anyway. That's just a slow way of getting there. But if you want to go there fast because you hate life, killing yourself and being consciously aware of killing yourself with physical things, that's not gonna cut it. You still gonna sin. If you really want to kill yourself, and make sure you don't add, because you'll become a tree or something that has life but can't move. You don't want to do that either. And that's like you would telling a lot of people, well, I'm about to kill myself, or I'm about to just disappear. I don't want nobody to know. So now you put that burden on others. So even though you go somewhere and not care no more, you got others caring about that. So you will come back as a tree. Because people here need things like fruit trees and nut trees and shit like that. So you're something that grows, but something that people just lean on. So people cut down and you ain't got no control over it and shit like that. Like the shit is really like, I could take y'all into, cause look, I experienced every realm of reality. I was a tree. I was everything. I killed myself. I've been in realms of realities what I didn't. I've been in so many dimensions, so many realms of reality, so many different lives that this is why I'm able to talk about it like this. But here's the key. See, I'm not Flight Boss. So I'm here as Flight Boss, but see, I don't even like to say that. See, it's a real power in I. I is a powerful motherfucker. I got a lot of hatred energy, so I gave off a lot of energy to I, to the point that it put me into a lot of negative situations these past couple days. But I respect I. You really have to look at I as a separate being, but I is like this overall being we in. And if you ever want to know what I look like, look, I've been in different constellations. I used to live in constellations. I used to live in a series constellations. The way we look at this solar system that you in right now, and I got these planets, all these planets that develop a being, all the planets develop a being. And the sun is like the head of it, the mind, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. The moon is like the third eye of it, you know what I'm saying. Mercury is like the throat, the heart is like Earth, you know what I'm saying. The stomach is like Mars, and the reproduction is like Pluto, you know what I'm saying. The thighs is like we could go down, but what I'm saying is like it's a being, but it's a solar system. So if you lived in I used to live in another solar system. When you in another solar system and you looking at this solar system, when you draw the stars out, it looked like a snake. It looked like a dragon. So the being we in, and the planets and the organs and shit, that's what you are in right now. Earth is like a planet, aka an organ, aka like the heart of a snake, of the dragon. This is why reptilians is most prominent here, because they can utilize their energy best here, and they rule the left brain. But it's like, this is what they're a part of. So it's just, if you got a vessel in this realm of reality, you have no choice but to take a reptilian trait. But it's a bunch of shit that the reptilians created from the realm that they're in, aka the world that the solar system in. So they develop their right brain, and they have to learn how to use their right brain more. You see what I'm saying? But this is why we're developing this body. So we're giving this snake legs. Next, we're going to give it wings. Once you become an oversoul and things of that nature, this is why planets in the third dimension, when a third dimensional person draw out how a planet look, they can only correlate it to it looking like a man or a woman with wings, or a hermaphrodite that got a lot of arms. Like if it's something that got a lot of eggs and a lot of arms, that's something that has descended. If it's something that has wings or a one eye and look like a man, it has ascended. You see what I'm saying? And this is, but we're developing a dragon. You see what I'm saying? So when I used to live in Ceres, I used to live in Andromeda, and I used to live in purely Draco. Now Draco is the head, it's the crown ship. It's the constellation that this spirit lives in. The idea of the being, it's this brain. The brain and the hair and the face and the mouth, all that is the head of the dragon is the mouth. So Draco is the head constellation of this solar system. You see what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, it is the solar system. It's the head. Same way, like for an example, this is why my sun sign is 17 degrees Aries. It falls on second notice. That's the Draco constellation. So my conscious awareness and how I act and how I consciously see things is my sun sign. So it's in the Draco constellation. So my actions is predicated in energies of the head of this whole solar system. So I have ideas that this whole solar system have. So if you got energy that come off me sometimes of, oh, this nigga try to take over shit, or this nigga try to do that, or this, I'm only doing with this sun is consciously the highest conscious awareness that this sun is doing. So whoever this being, this Draco, and they call it Draco. We call it Draco, really. But our star constellations draw out, we are inside a being that look like a dragon. And the more conscious aware we get inside it, the more we give it a body, basically. In the world that it's in. And what happens here is it got little wings. We try to get it, but that's another video. But for the most part, well, when I lived in Andromeda, they seen us different. They fucked with us. I'm saying us because I'm here in this one now. When Ophiuchus is strangling us right now. Ophiuchus is hunting us. We are in a being that's an animal. You see what I'm saying? We not even the humans. Like the solar system being we in is a snake-like being, like a dragon. But it's only an animal in that existence. Ophiuchus is a man. So some of the stars is like the lower vibrational stars of Ophiuchus. That's in our star constellations of Scorpio and Sagittarius. But Ophiuchus itself, the star constellation as a whole, is a man-like being. And it's hunting us. You see what I'm saying? It's hunting us. Like, I need to make a separate videos on this because astrologers gonna try to preach this shit and they don't understand because they're not on this level of consciousness. But Ophiuchus is a man and it's strangling us. You need to know that. That snake that's in Ophiuchus' head when beings on earth draw it out is a man in this realm of reality holding a snake but strangling it. You know what I'm saying? The Aquarius likes the snake. The Aquarius is your gurus. And reason why these are star constellations of men. So when those vibrations come here and then be able to those ideas and thoughts go into the snake-like being and be able to be seen inside the snake being, aka this solar system we in the best way it could be seen. So the best way man can be developed in this being that we in, it looks like this, right? But it still resembles snake-like shit because this is the only idea that the being we in have of men. But the idea, what it gave our snake being within it, and the cell, we are the cells within this being. We're developing forms of information, knowledge, wisdom, because this is what men have. So the representation of men in this being, we only could get so much of it. So in this being, we still confused by language, law, lizard, snake, like language, left brain, logic. This is as far as we can go with communication, right? But as a solar system, there's men-like being that we are around and we get hunted by that have supreme knowledge. And we know that because we're in a reality now where as a human, you hunt lower species, animals and snakes, and get snake skin and stuff. But what you're not understanding is the being you in overall is a snake. And the level of understanding we get is a snake being hunted or animals being hunted. So we're playing out the roles of existence of the highest conscious of this snake being could do inside it. But us doing that, we're developing us to become that man-like being. Woo, I'm getting deep. Let me start this motherfucking video. Because I don't think a lot of people gonna be lost. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.